Well, today was a real who's who for which Cowboy wants to screw the next play up. Against the Redskins, it was an ugly game, bad game by the Dallas Cowboys. But there was a lot of points, well, actually just a couple of plays in the game where if that play doesn't happen, it's a whole new ball game. This game, however, against the Bears was a complete and utter disaster from the Dallas Cowboys and completely earned by the Chicago Bears. I think the two guys in this game that really deserve props for the win is Jay Cutler and Mike Martins. Because when this game started, when the Dallas Cowboys started on defense, it really did look like, and Joe Buck was even saying that, Jay Cutler's going to have to get help to the bus after this game because we were bringing four guys and busting through that line, hitting Cutler almost every single time. And, whenever Des Bryant, who actually had a good game today, and I think, has shown that he's going to be a factor even in his rookie season this year, return that punt for a touchdown. I texted one of my buddies, Cowboys win. Now, it was a joke. I was being facetious because I didn't think either team would be able to move the ball. So I was like, oh, if you score a touchdown, you're probably going to win this thing. Well, lo and behold, both teams were able to move the ball. But the reason that Mike Martz and Cutler get the most should be able to get the most credit for this win is they were able to adjust. They saw, okay, our O line is not good enough to stop these guys, just for a 3 or 5 step drop. So what they do? Quick slants, attack in the middle of the field, getting the ball out as fast as you can, and lo and behold, keeps them in the ball game and wins the ball game for them. I thought the defense overall for Dallas was, all right. We were getting pressure. But, anytime Cutler had time, he was able to get the ball down the field. He's a good quarterback. He's got his problems. He had his turnover from last year. But right now, it's hard to say anything bad. As a Dallas Cowboys fan, I can't say anything bad about him. He whipped my team. But, a lot of problems last week were blamed on the coaching staff. Jason Garrett, Wade Phillips, of course, the bad calls and stuff. And of course, a lot of the Cowboys fans will start talking about this. No, not this week. Sorry, coaching staff, not really the problem this week. It's the players, and it's not one player. And I know that Roy is going to get a lot of crap for this because that fumble near the end of the game, and he should, but he's one of many. And the thing was, this was a game for most part. The wide receiver with the most drops, and he didn't have many, was Miles Austin. I think he had 2 there at one point. But Roy and Miles was coming down with it, Jason as well, and Des Bryant were all catching the ball, and it felt like, especially in the second half, it didn't matter where we started the ball. Dallas could start their own 30, own 20, and in 2 plays, we're down on the other team's 40 or around 30, and then it's like, okay, which Cowboy wants to screw this up now? Hey, Romo, you want to throw a pick? Or, hey, Roy, you want to fumble the ball? Or, hey, Beeler, you want to miss another kick? Because then you get paid for that. But apparently, he hasn't been listening. He didn't fill his resume well. So, it really, it's all over. And the thing is, when you watch this game, and especially as a Cowboys fan, you see that today the weapons were shown today. Was shown what Dallas can do. The reason they always use that thing, weapons and talent and all this kind of crap when talking about the Dallas Cowboys. And you saw that because you see where Tony has all kinds of guys to get the ball to. And he threw the ball a lot. And a lot of people are going to put that on Jason Garrett again. Now, I've been critical of Jason Garrett as well. But I would have done the same thing today because the running game was completely a non-factor for Dallas. I mean, all 3 backs, mainly Marion and Felix, because they were the guys who got the most carries, couldn't really get anything going. And that's a lot on the offensive line as well. So you can't get onto a coach to sit there because then if that had happened, if we kept doing that, then everyone would have got on here talking about how we were beating our head against a wall. So the play calling was not the problem today. It was the execution. And it's great. And also, just to relate it back to Saturday, both of my quarterbacks, Garrett Gilbert and Tony Romo, both of them had 5 picks combined. All of them were tipped passes. So that's always fun to see. So is it good for Dallas? No, Dallas is in a bind right now because now you took a game against Chicago that you came in as the favorite and probably should have won. Now, not to discount the Bears because the Bears have shown they're not as bad as they were last year. They're going to be a better team this year. But Dallas left so many points on the field today. So Now you're 0-2, and now you're going to go to Houston. I don't know if Houston's played today. I don't know, but I saw Houston last week, and Houston is dang good. So they're going to go to their house, and this is going to be their first time since the first time we played each other that Houston's going to have a real chance at beating Dallas. And Houston Texans fans hate the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys, for the most part, we don't have really an opinion about the Texans, but the Texans fans loathe the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a college environment over there in Houston. So now we have to win that game because we don't need to fall to 0-3. This is kind of our fallback to go 1-1 and then kind of have that iffy game in Houston. Now it's okay, you better win now because you're going to be screwed after this. So no, it's weird right now about this team because you see how good they can be. And I'm not going to sit here and say this is a bad football team. It's undisciplined. It makes bad decisions, and right now they're not playing well. But I can see where they can be good. But this isn't college. This isn't high school. There's no style points, and there's really not enough time to get that good feel for each other. This should have happened a while back. So that's what's going to hold this team back unless they get back on track. No, not giving up on them. I think this team can do something special this year, but it's going to have to drastically change on the field and locker room and what they got to do. So any Cowboys fans that are out there pointing the finger at one guy, you're missing this, and you didn't really watch the game, or you're just looking to hate on somebody. This was the entire team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that screwed this thing up. So at least, and I've used this before, but it was a complete effort of suck, and that's kind of what describes the Dallas Cowboys right now. Complete effort of suck, collective team effort, and I guess that's something to build on. We'll see what happens. So congrats, Chicago Bears, and all your fans. Your defense did enough to stop the Dallas Cowboys. You've got a good quarterback who can be inconsistent at times, but right now, can't say anything bad about him. He's getting the job done. So, congrats, Chicago. Dallas, Houston's going to be rough. Let's go.